All right, welcome everyone to our release meeting this week. Today is June the 11th for this release cycle 1.34. I'm Daniel, and I'm happy to be the host for our release team meeting today. So before we get started, really quickly, please be aware that this is a Kubernetes community meeting, which falls under the Kubernetes Code of Conduct, which really just boils down to be excellent to one another. A reminder once again that this meeting is being recorded and will be publicly posted to YouTube. So be mindful of what you say, as it will live on forever on the internet. Cool. So let's go to the open discussion items. Okay, so I do see one thing here about our retro. So please do add any comments, suggestions about how you think the release process can be improved, or any feedback for that in the retro doc linked there. We can discuss that in our mid-cycle release retro discussions. Anything else anyone has for open discussion that isn't listed here? If not, let's continue on to the updates. So enhancements. Is anybody from the enhancements team able here to give the update for them?
Hey, this is Sean. I'll go through that today. I won't read off all the metrics there, but please feel free to ask any questions about that. We've sent out PRR freeze reminders to all of the KEPs that are being tracked. We have 87 on the board, and we're going through now and doing the reminders for the actual enhancement freeze. So those numbers under the status section of the metrics, there might be a few changes in there as we gather some feedback and updates. But those are going out now, and I think we're most of the way through. So we're getting there. And you can expect an invite probably over the weekend for the enhancement freeze party when the actual enhancement deadline is. That's pretty much it from enhancements, unless there's any questions.
Thanks, John. Freeze party sounds super fun. But yeah, are there any questions for the enhancements team? If not, let's move over to release signal. Raji, are you on the call?
Yeah, hello. So the current status from release signal, we marked it as yellow because we had two flaking tests which were awaiting signal from SIG node. So apart from the signal from them, when we analyzed the underlying cause of failure, they seem to be closely non-blocker based on our analysis. So we thought we will wait for more clear signal from SIG, and hence we have marked it as yellow as of now. Now that the cut is postponed to tomorrow, maybe by tomorrow morning, we will conclude on what the final signal has to be. Probably it will turn green as they are being categorized as non-blocker by most of us. And then when we query the list of issues, we don't see any critical, urgent, or important zone issues with labels. There were 9 issues which are non-test or non-flake kind of ones. And out of the open PRs of 18, we have 6 important zone PRs as of now. That's all.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raji. Any questions for release signal? If not, let's move on to docs. Rashan, are you able to give your update?
Yes, so for docs, our current status is yellow. So we've created the weekly branch sync PR and it's ready for review. It is having a CLA. The CLA isn't passing because that PR for the shadow still needs to be approved. So once that's done, that error should be resolved. We're also gearing up to create our Alpha 1 PR. So that'll be done soon. And then we also had our team orientation last Friday, and our lead has also been started assigning us our KEPs that we'll start working on later. And that's it for docs. I also provided a link to the PR in the chat.
Perfect. Thanks, Rashan. Any questions for docs?
Yes, I do have one comment. The CLA shouldn't have to do anything with the branch sync. Um, Let me see. I'll investigate why there's the CLA failure. Because all of you should have org memberships, so it shouldn't be. Even without org membership, you can actually sign the CLA and make contributions. So I'm not sure why that's happening, but I'll take a look later.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Any other questions for docs? If not, let's go to comms. Agustina, over to you.
Hello, this is Agustina from Comms. We have a brief status this week. So our current status is green. All new shadows attended the general onboarding yesterday. We also had the comms onboarding last week. So all of those are done. And additionally, we have one feature blog opted in early before the enhancements freeze. So we have it linked already in the tracking board. That would be everything.
Thanks. Thanks, Agustina. Any questions for comms? If not, for release branch management, I don't see Mateo on the call or True either. But that's okay. It looks like their status is green. We're going to start the mock stages tomorrow. And the release cut has been postponed due to contention with regular patch releases. And the link to the discussion is referenced here. Are there any questions that anybody had for branch management that they'd like to raise? I can pass it on to you, Matteo. If not, we can move over to our EA, Fred. Fred, if you're on the call, are you?
Yep, I am on the call.
Yep.
Daniel, thank you. So onboarding sessions are 2/3 done. We had the first two yesterday and today. There's an additional one for tomorrow, and that will conclude the general onboarding sessions. The attendance has been asymmetric. We had more people yesterday, less people today. For tomorrow, there are at least 8 or 7 or 8 acceptances. In the end, it's possible that not everyone will have joined. I will, however, share the documentation that I'm using, and also if someone wasn't able to make it but absolutely wants to do it, they can reach out to me and I can schedule another one. And that's mostly it from my side.
Oh, thanks, Fred. And over to Guillaume, our release lead.
Hey everyone. So before I begin with my updates, please note that the onboarding sessions by Fred are mandatory unless they are really off your time zone or you have some conflict that's unavoidable. Um, it's something that is under the shadow removal guideline. Although we don't want to remove anyone, but it's mentioned that failure to attend the shadow orientation session may be one of the reasons. But we're flexible if you have a genuine reason or it's time zone problems. We do understand that, but please make sure that you attend those sessions. They are not may not be related to your team, but you should know how the release team and the other teams function, because for example a lot of teams have dependencies on each other. Enhancement team sets up a board which is used by docs comms, so both of those teams, so there is interdependency between those teams. And the purpose of the release shadow program is that you get to know the overall working that goes into releasing a new Kubernetes version. With that, I'll get onto my updates. The PRR freeze is tomorrow. The announcements team has sent the reminders to all of the announcements, so that's good on that side. Alpha 1 is rescheduled for tomorrow, as mentioned in the branch management updates. And taking a look at the failures, as Raji mentioned, they all seem to be related to cryoseg faulting, which seems to be on the underlying reason for all those failures, which can be tracked to a non-blocking issue. So I think it should be good on that side. But as mentioned, we are waiting for leads to confirm. Enhancements freezes next week. That's a major or big milestone. I have the easy time zone link, so y'all can check it when it happens in your time zone. I will be posting email to different Google groups about the reminder for enhancement freeze next week. But that's most of it from my side. If anyone has any questions for me.
Cool. Thanks, Vio. Last but not least, SIG scalability. They are reporting a status of green. Cool. So with that, that's the end of our updates. Are there any go backs or anything that anybody wants to bring up outside of the updates here? If not, I will end the recording. 1 second. So say farewell to YouTube.